Welcome in to the 411 podcast. It's Thursday, 29th. We are almost out of September. Can't believe it. This year is almost, we getting right there. We getting right there. Hmm. If you're out there on Facebook, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you, especially for the newcomers that come in. I appreciate all of the new people that check me out. Um, One way you can help support is by heading on over to Instagram. Please like, comment, share, do whatever you need to do to help support. Definitely would appreciate that. You can also do the same on YouTube as well at Laren Gaines. You can get small clips of the show on TikTok and Daily Motion. Welcome on in, welcome in. All right. So we have Miss Maria Kornacki coming tonight. Let's find out a little bit about her, see what's going on in her neck of woods, and let it do what it do. You never know what you're gonna get on a 411 podcast. So, song of the day. I picked the song of the day for the obvious reason, but then as I was sitting there, I was like, damn, I really should have picked Monica. Don't take it personal, because as I continue to go through this journey and go through things in life, sometimes it ain't easy. And I do take things a little personal. So I'm like, damn, I could really teach myself a lesson by that song, Don't Take It Personal, because it could be just one of them days. But that's not the song of the day. And I just hope that I can do this next message the right way without offending anybody. I thought long and hard about it, but it really is the truth. And I'm just basically speaking my life story. And unfortunately, some people may get upset behind it, but I just have to give it to you the way I know how to give it. And truth is basically what comes from me. Here we go. Song of the day, Too Hot by Coolio, off of the Gangsta's Paradise album, 1995. So, of course, I want to say rest in peace to Coolio. Totally unexpected. Did not know where this would come from. But then, I think about, his career and the songs that made an impact and music back then, the way they taught you. There was a story behind it. And definitely off of the song Too Hot, there was truly a story that touched me. I was like 15 during that time frame. And I was young, thinking that I knew things. And it was songs like this that helped, put things back into perspective a little bit. What's going on, Moraz Beats, all the way from France? I appreciate you. It was songs like this, but it wasn't just the song, it was the video that told a story. When I looked at this video, it really had me think before I went out and stepped out as a young 15, 16-year-old thinking that I knew everything. So then it was also TLC, Waterfalls. That was another video that had you a little shook up, at least me, if you're anything like me, a little shook up and made you to start to think a little bit before you go and do things. Now, I'm an 80s baby, so I come from the era where, AIDS and HIV and all of that stuff was like real scary during that time frame. Nobody knew what was what. Do you touch this person? Is it going to be a problem? Can you drink out of the same, cup as them? Do you catch it by kissing? All kinds of weird stuff used to go through, at least my mind, growing up. And I heard people who were older than me speak about it. So it always stuck with me, and I always knew better stepping out into, the world like that. But it was confirmation by songs like Coolio, Too Hot, that I said, remember, it stuck with me. And then TLC, Waterfalls, that was another video. It was the storytelling behind it that stuck with me. So I was like, all right, cool. Now we go through this whole thing that happened in 2020, and it just amazes me that people don't remember what we've been through back in the day. And I'm talking about people from my generation, in some cases even older. They just out there. They wide open these days, and people just do all types of things. And they think just because they take a little pill that that's supposed to cure and take care of everything. So anyway, wrap this up a little bit. When I heard that he passed away, I thought about the song that touched me the most, and most people it's Gangster's Paradise. But for me, it's Too Hot for the obvious reason because of the environment that I grew up in. So anyway, song of the day, Too Hot, Coolio. Fast forward a little bit. Most of the people that I've interacted with, I guess interacting with me, they love the fast lane just a little bit too much. And I guess they didn't get the message in songs like Too Hot. They didn't get the message in TLC Waterfalls. And of course, there's so many artists that told the story. They didn't get it. So unfortunately, I'm single to this day, and that's cool. I'm all right with it because y'all can go ahead and y'all can do the things that you want to do. Because again, I understood what Too Hot meant. I understood what Waterfalls meant, and y'all go ahead and have that. You can go ahead on and you can have your multiple partners. You can go ahead and trust in a little pill that somebody says that they're on. You can go ahead and miss me with all of that type of stuff because at 42 years old today, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I still have me today and I haven't lost and sold my soul just for a quick couple seconds of whatever pleasure is out there in the world. So this song by Coolio will always, mean something to me. And it's more so the storytelling in that video. I had to sit back and watch it again today. And it's just a message in this song here. And I still don't understand why people today, especially from my generation or my era, still fly out there free and think that just because you take a little pill, that's going to cure and save everything. We're not even going to get into the soul ties and the spiritual connection and exchanging of energies that goes on. But all right, we're going to leave it right there. Anyway, welcome to the 4-in-1 podcast. It is what it is. Now, I had a great show on Reading Between the Wines last night. Chef Gina B came through. I want to say thank you so much, all. Please go ahead and support my friend. Soul Deliciously Flexitarian is her new cookbook. Check it out. She has a little bit of everything for everybody. So if you're a meat eater, if you're a pescatarian, if you're vegan, vegetarian, whatever, check out Chef Gina B's new book, Soul Deliciously Flexitarian. I want to say what's up to Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. He has a show called Midnight Vibes, and I'll be co-hosting with him this Saturday at 8 p.m. I want to say thank you to Le Barouche. Make sure I got that one right. Le Barouche, all the way from New Orleans. Thank you for supporting Joy Nettie, Ashero Clothing Company, Complex Angel, all the way from Philadelphia. My Survivor Voice podcast. Y'all go ahead and support that podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. My friend Danny, My Survivor Voice podcast. Jason T. Davis, all the way from California. Sean T. Refuge. She has 26 journals and she supports the 4-in-1. So, of course, I support her. Joanna Smith. And also, I want to say a very special thank you to Mr. Farrell Higginbotham, all the way from Trenton, New Jersey, my hometown. Thank you for supporting the 4-in-1 podcast. And each and every one of you out there, do me a favor, please go on, head on over to YouTube and please like, comment, share. Same thing. Help me out on Instagram a little bit. I'm not quite sure what's going on lately on some of these platforms, but if I'm not reaching back out to you like I normally do, please trust and believe that it's because of powers that be, and I'm just going along with the plan and doing whatever it do. So the best way you can support is by going through and liking, commenting, and sharing, and letting people know what we got going on here inside of the 4-in-1 podcast. So we're going to go ahead and rewind this thing. So I spoke to Chef Gina B last night, and I asked her a simple question of, are you the first person that tries to end an argument, or do you wait for others to take their turn and wave their white flag? And she said that she's not the first person to end an argument, and thankfully, she's with a person who knows how to wave the white flag and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm cool. So, question I have to ask each and every one of you out there is, are you the first person to try and end the argument? Or are you always barking back and biting back and waiting for the other person to become submissive to you? I will say that I had to turn things around. And I mean, you know the story. If you've been watching me for a minute, I had to turn things around because I was never the person that was trying to end an argument. Never the person. I always had to have the last word. I always had to have the last say. But I learned some things. Once you keep bumping your head over and over and over and over again, eventually one day you'll wake up. In some cases, some of us wake up after doing it one or two times and they're like, I can't do this anymore. Tired of the bumps. What's going on, young Marie? I guess I got that right. Tired of the bum bruises, tired of getting banged up, tired of getting jacked up. Congratulations to you who learned on the first time. Some of us, it takes us a couple times, but I'm thankful that I got it today because I always didn't have it. But I'm not the person that wants to keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. First time that there's some signs of a little back and forth, we start to do that little delicate dance of you are right, I think I'm right, no, you're right, or no, I know it has to. Nah, we're not doing that. Once we start to do that little dance a little bit, which reminds me of, you ever start to walk in the path of somebody and you try to dodge them, but they in the same area and they trying to dodge you, and then y'all start doing that little dance thing. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. Once I see that we starting to do that little dance where it starts to have a little tension there, I'm out. I ain't got no time for it. I will not waste my energy going back and forth with you anymore because I feel like I'm spent. I've been doing too much of that, going around thinking that I always had to be right. Once you learn how to wave the white flag first and be like, all right, I'm cool. I'm good. I'll let you have this one. I'll let you take this one. Once you start to learn how to do that, something happens and you start to gain what I call is your power back. You get your power back. And how you get your power back, and if you've lost it before, once you get it back, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You take away the criticism, all of a sudden you get your power back. You don't always have to be pointing things out to people. You gain a little bit of your energy back. See, when you go back and forth with people, that's energy that's being spent. And if it's a round and round like a merry-go-round and no one ever wins, and all of a sudden you're in an argument, you ever been in an argument and an hour, 2 hours into it, some cases 3, you don't even realize what the hell you was arguing about in the first place? That is just pure wasted energy. So I'm all for team power back. And how you get your power back is you learn how to zip it. You learn how to just shut it up a little bit. And you don't have to keep going back and forth with people. Take away the criticism. What I've learned is you don't always have to be the first person to say something. The best way that you can learn to get that power back is by listening. Because people, like my friend Eugenia from the Bronx, I love this. People will sing you a lullaby if you just learn how to shut up. Let them do all of the talking. You get your power back. Be slow to speak. We've heard that before. Be very slow to speak. And then here's another thing, which I've learned when I learn how to be quiet a little bit, sit down, become more observant. I start to see things a little differently too. And what I see is that everybody wants to be right. And everybody wants to be first in doing everything. I got to be the first. I got to be the biggest. I got to be the baddest. I got to have all of this. I got to have all of that. The person who sits back and watches what other people do, you gain some power back that way. If there's a door, there's an unknown door there, right? And you don't know what's behind that door. Are you really going to be the first person to go run through it and bust through it? Or are you going to sit back and watch and see a couple folks go through it and say, now I want to see what happens when this person goes on there and they come out on the other side? When anything new pops off and it's this new, exciting new thing, or are you really the first person that runs and jump in line and go ahead and put yourself in the subject matter? Or are you going to sit back and sit down and shut up and observe and check things out a little bit. Let 10 people go through first and see what happens when they come out on the other end. Like today, I'm not the first person to want to stand up and be, right in the front of the line and got to have everything. And I'll let you go ahead and talk, say what you're going to say. I'm going to let you do whatever you're going to do. In that time frame, I'm protecting my energy. I'm preserving my energy because I never know what the real fight is going to be ahead. Why waste it on you? Because I have no idea what's coming around that corner tomorrow. So don't waste your energy. Learn how to get that power back. Take away the criticism. Sometimes it's cool to just zip it up a little bit. Be observant. Open up your eyes. Open up your ears. Because trust and believe. If you hang around them long enough and you sit back and you observe long enough, they're going to show you who the real them is. And they're going to sing you a lullaby. Trust and believe. We don't get that because most of the time we're sitting here running our mouths trying to make people understand and see things our way. Anyway, we have Maria Kornacki coming in tonight. Let's go ahead and pull her up. Right here, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for joining in on the 411. I appreciate you.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good. Long time no talk.
Well, welcome on into the 411.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you found me for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful for all of the guests to come on because I can't do this without each and every one of you for coming on and help supporting and opening up this space for these great lines of communication. So I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
So let everyone know where you are calling from.
Yeah. I am currently I've been in Michigan actually. So not too far from you.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Metro Detroit area.
What's the weather like now?
That's a funny question because, I mean, every day it's like up and down, it fluctuates, but it's not bad. It's like 50s, 60s. Today was nice walking weather.
So you think 50s and 60s isn't bad?
Well, I know there's other people that are, they'll put on a jacket if it's 70s, but
I'm so sick of this weather.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, right?
If it's sunny, it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean yesterday I was super cold, right? And I was like, I just went outside thinking that it's still, summer, and I was a little cold, right? So today I'm like, I'm on it today. I start layering up all of these clothes. I had my jacket on, and I was hot today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is just getting on my nerves. But yeah, so I don't.
Well, that's like, yeah.
I'm not feeling this type of weather.
Sometimes I don't even check the weather like for the week now. Like I used to do that. But like sometimes I don't even check it for the day. I'll just like go outside because it changes so much. I'm like, I can't really tell like what that feels like until I'm actually out there.
Yeah. Crazy weather that we're dealing with across different parts of this country.
Like, right now what's going on, we have it pretty good compared to Florida, and other places.
Just like I was saying, don't take it personal. I have to tell myself, don't take it personal because the stuff that you think is a problem, other people will be thankful to have exactly what you have. So I have to get myself in check sometimes. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You are a writer.
Yes. I'm actually going to try to put my headphones in. Yeah, I would say I'm a poet too. Like that's my focus or my most interested genre. I went to school at Eastern Michigan University. So I have a bachelor's in creative writing, and then my minor was language, literature, and writing. So just lots of reading and writing throughout college.
That is
But
so.
like I kind of stumbled into it later. Like I was, like I guess it was not really on my radar as far as like being a writer when I was younger. But I think that had to do with just like being bombarded with like all this reading throughout school. Like it just didn't really interest me as much, I guess.
Yes.
But, like storytelling always did, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I absolutely could not stand reading at all in school. That was definitely not something that was one of my strongest points. But today, as I've gotten older, I can't get enough of it. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm really into that. And I got tons of books now compared to, back in the day when I was coming up. And I think it's all about what, interests you, which is the most important thing. I mean, who really wants to read something that they're not interested in? It's just not going to click like that. So at what point did you determine that you wanted to really go serious with this and be a writer?
Yeah, that's very specific for me because I can recall, I think it was either senior or junior year, we had a creative writing class in high school. I kind of just took that, and then I was like, wait a minute, not only is someone like teaching this at a high school level, but like then I discovered that you can actually continue studying this in college and all that, and I was like, oh, I like what we're doing in this class, and I like coming up with all these cool little stories and workshops and doing all this, so I kind of just, but I shouldn't say it was like an easy like decision, because then in college I started as a journalism major. Well, at first I didn't start as like anything. I didn't like, you didn't have to pick a major as like a freshman, really, but then I thought maybe journalism was more like suitable just overall, but then I took 2 semesters of that, and there was like, I didn't like the rules, like really, and there was just not much.
What do you mean you didn't like the rules? What?
Like there's a lot of, it was, I guess not so much like rules, but maybe it wasn't like really what I was expecting. I don't know. And she's like, as far as like jobs that I wanted to do for that, but also just like, it's like,
you didn't want to be a news reporter?
Yeah, like it just seems like some of it's even just outdated. Like it kind of changes. So yeah, it was like no room for me to like put up my own ideas, I guess. But I think I liked it because of the interviewing aspect. Because I still listen to so many interviews now.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
this.
I think it's so interesting because half of the stuff that I do today, there was like no schooling at all. And when I think about it, I'm like, damn, I had no idea that I would be doing some of these things. And had I known, maybe I would have, taken some courses or done some things. But what I'm also interested about is that even though that I don't have any formal schooling behind this, and there's other people that I look up to that had no formal schooling behind it, such as Steve Harvey is somebody that I absolutely really look up to. It gives me another confirmation that sometimes maybe all of that schooling and stuff like that is a little unnecessary. And there also another person who I look up to who was self-taught, Les Brown, taught himself how to, broadcast and stuff by watching people. Nobody told him anything. He watched how people turn the dials and, played with the boards and stuff. And that's how he, caught on. The DJ that was ahead of him got drunk and fell asleep. and he jumped in and took over the radio station. And the way that he was able to do that is while he was sweeping and dusting and mopping and running and getting coffee for this person and that person, he took time to peek in the window and watch what the other person was doing. So there, and the rest is history. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you hear stories like that all the time. Yeah, it seems like.
So let's get back to your writing here. So, what was the first memorable piece that you wrote?
I think, actually, well, what just popped in my head, I guess, was from my college writing capstone project. So we had to make a chapbook, which at the time I had never heard of. But then, like, basically it required, like, a whole semester of just focusing on creating, like, one whole cohesive, slightly smaller book, you know. It only had to be 30 pages, but it was, like, the most I had ever done as far as, like, an actual, like, one, you know, working on one piece the whole time. And then we got to present it at the end, so it's kind of, like, they just made it really official, like, we could workshop it and all that. So
30 pages.
I would say creating a chapbook.
I like that. 30 pages. That's the right type of book that I want to read.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And it's becoming more common now. Like, people, like, I think, like, the concept is, apparently it's been around for, like, centuries, because, like, you could carry it around in your pocket or something. But, like, now it's, like, it kind of gives people, like I mentioned before, we were on live, but I always thought of it like an EP, like when artists release, you know, like that 6, 7 songs or something, and like singles, and then before their actual album. So it kind of just gives people an idea of their style.
Right.
And stuff like that.
I like it. So now that's exactly the type of project that you're working on now, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I actually did, like, I wasn't even planning this, but, like, I was working with someone at the time, and she recommended doing a chapbook before this book that I was showing her. And then, so I ended up doing that in, like, at the beginning of this year, in January, and then it ended up getting picked up by this really cool, it's definitely a smaller press, but I like it because it's, this person hand makes them all. They're, like, stone. And designed really, like, eloquently on the cover and all that. So, and it's actually even smaller than 30 pages. Like, these are mini chapbooks, which you can do apparently. So it doesn't have to be, like, most chapbooks are, like, at least, you know, like, they're like 20 to 40 sometimes is usually the range, but this can be less. So yeah, it's just whatever.
Okay. So now it's slated to come out 23.
Yeah. Yes, and that is going to be it's called Ethel, ETHEL, Zine. You can look that up, and then, but it's like their mini chapbook press, so it's like that, within their
that's what they
magazine thing, little
Okay.
Yeah, so that, and they were booked because this person has a lot of stuff that they want to publish, so I got pushed to December 2023 for that. But it's also nice because I do have some other projects that might actually end up, I mean, I'm not going to say anything now, but, like,
absolutely.
Who knows? But I do have some other things that I sent out. I will just mention that because I was working on something before that, a longer collection, and something else I just have.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that's, like, the mind of a writer. Like, I saw something the other day. It was like, should I start a new project and it was like no or something, but then like this person, but then it's like you actually ended up doing it, and there's all these projects you start.
Yeah, I mean, I write all the time. I'm constantly writing, putting stuff down on little pieces of paper and jotting them down on my phone. I don't think that you ever stop writing when you really have a passion behind
No.
it. Even when you don't want to start writing something, it just comes to you, and it's just part of the process.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I got so many different things that I want to ask you before we move on to the next segment. But so December 23, just make sure that you release it, on the 11th. That's my birthday. We're going to talk about that too because
Yes.
I know you asked some questions about that, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before we get into that, let everyone know where they can follow you at, your different social medias that you're on. I know you're on Instagram, but let us know, where else you're at.
Yeah. Well, that's also a thing I've been kind of like battling with, like internally. I'm like, I am really not much of a social person for like my social media.
I
Like my
mean,
age, I guess. But
I,
I
your age,
found I can
aren't you
handle.
younger than I am?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like most people I know are like the thing is I don't even have TikTok, which people might like my peers think that's silly, but like now they're realizing they're actually annoyed with it sometimes. So
I'm
yeah,
not even
I
gonna
can.
go there, but yeah,
Well, and the thing is, like so many writers are on Twitter,
yes, they
which is
are
nice, and I
definitely.
found there's like a nice writing community, but like I just find it also like too distracting when I have too many social. So
One can never have too many social medias now. I mean, you got to have them all.
yeah, you. I know. I get it. But I'm saying then I'll be on there, and I'm like I could be writing right now. But yeah,
no,
no,
there
I
is a
totally understand
no, there
that,
is
and
a
I think it's partly because I've been on like the other ones for like a while now. Like, and I'm just kind of bored of them. I don't
no,
know.
there is a limit to it. I will tell you that I absolutely refuse to let any of this stuff consume my life. Now,
Right.
you just have to make sure you have good balances and you know when to do things and when
But
not.
yeah.
And some people get upset because, oh, you didn't like this, you didn't comment on my page.
Yeah.
And the things that I have to say to everybody out there is, you know how many people that I have following me? And if you don't come across my feed at the right given time, when I start to engage on there, the only thing that I have to say for you is I'm so sorry for you because I am not going down there from all of the friends that I've made over all of these years, searching for each and everybody's profile because half of the people, I don't even remember most of the people's names if they don't engage with me on a consistent basis because I'm dealing with so many different names and so many different people,
Right. I try.
you know?
Well, that's also a thing. Is you have to. I think I don't have the energy. Like sometimes I really like when I go in there, I feel bad. Like there's all these people that I want to see what they're doing, but then I realize the more followers I have, then the more people I'm following, and then I have to keep up with them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, too much.
Yeah, if you engage
But yeah, you can.
and you keep up with me, trust and believe that we're going to have this good exchange of energy back and forth. But I can't chase down everybody. And so
Yeah.
forth. And the
No,
same thing.
yeah, you.
And I mean, it goes the
I
same
understand
way.
that.
If I'm not chasing somebody down, and of course, they ain't going to do the same for me, and I get it. You can't be everywhere at the same place at the same time. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah. Well, I think also like I've also like done like check-ins now. I'll be like, even if it's someone like I haven't spoken to in a long time, like I'll purposely view their story or something, and then I'll actually like DM. I'll be like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people text me, and we go back and forth that way. That's fine. That's why when I was talking to you, I'm like, did you send me a text message recently? Because if not, you're gonna get buried in the messages. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you're only on
Before I
Instagram.
forget, yeah. I mean, you can follow me on IG. Actually, I should mention my new one too. Because I made an art one
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to talk about that later, but yeah, I'm doing that's for like mostly portraits and stuff like that. It's called at Maria Makes together, like no cats, nothing else. Maria Makes underscore faces,
Now,
and then
did you say make or mate?
makes
Mates.
makes
Okay,
plural, like making
gotcha.
things.
Oh,
So
make. Okay,
yes,
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Sorry, I know there's like probably connection. But yes, Maria Makes underscore faces. It's a
Maria
new
makes
account, so
Maria
I'm just trying to get that
makes
one up.
underscore faces.
Yeah,
Okay, now I
on
got a whole
Instagram,
bunch of
and then
different things that I want to ask you real quick. So, you're a traveler. I see that you travel around different places. I think that's amazing.
well, that's old. Yeah,
Doesn't, I
but
mean,
yeah,
you've been to places that, hell, I haven't been. So, of course, I'm asking questions.
yeah.
So, you've been to London?
Sorry, it got cut out, but I think I heard you say London. Yeah,
You've been to London. So, how was that experience?
yeah. Well, that actually was from that's related to art because I had a very grateful opportunity of going to study abroad, but it's not as big as it sounds because I was only there for the 10-day opportunity.
Wait a
But
minute. Wait a minute.
and it was
Let me back this up. So,
yeah
going to London for 10 days.
in Dublin actually.
Dublin.
So
I'm
it was
sorry.
not even full 10 days. I should say it was Dublin and London.
Oh,
So
oh,
Dublin, Ireland.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Let me back this up. So, going to
Yes.
Ireland and London for 10 days is not a big deal?
No, it was,
What?
but I'm saying when I said study abroad, I didn't want people to think I'm like going for a whole like some people would ask like, oh, so you like studied there for the
Oh,
year or something? I'm
oh, I
like,
get what
no.
you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like more? What area more?
Uh, honestly, I just felt like it was like all at once and I like didn't even get to soak it in, but like I thought it was
Mm,
all amazing, like just getting out there. But the only
I
thing
bet.
was like in Dublin sometimes it was like rainy when we were visiting some spots that might have been nice, if it was nicer, but
Very, very green over there, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we were also there for St. Patrick's Day too.
And were you of age to drink?
Yeah, but it's so funny. I don't know. I probably sound like a party pooper, but I really do not. That's like one thing I never really even could fake. Like even like the taste, I just never got into that. So
Okay. So,
yeah, I think my yeah.
so in London, how was London? Did you visit any historic sites?
Uh, yeah. Well, I should say like since it was like an art history class, so we actually had most of our classes in museums, like
Mm,
during it. So
okay.
that was a cool experience too. But
Mm-hmm.
we went to the main, like there's a main area in London, just with a bunch of shops. Like I think I took a picture of that, but just a bunch of shopping areas.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like kind of blanking out. But
Now, I get it.
yeah.
It's a lot to take in. Like, I went to France this year, and
Oh yeah, London Eye.
um,
Right. You went to France?
yeah, there's so many things that I can't even tell you what I saw. Like, I still need somebody to translate and say, "Oh yeah, remember we went here? Remember this? Remember
Right.
that?" Because it's so much to take in. And while you're being explained what's what, I'm just soaking everything in, and it is amazing. The whole thing is just amazing. Um, Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next thing. I know I had so many things to ask you, and we're up against the clock. But you were asking me something about my zodiac sign when we were chatting back and forth. What's all of that about?
Well, no, I didn't. Well, at first I didn't even. I would happen to be seeing another video, And you said your birthday was December 11th, and I was like, what? Mine is the 12th. But it's funny because I was
Oh, wait a
listening to
minute.
you.
Wait, so your birthday is
And
December 12th?
yeah.
That's
But
crazy. Crazy.
That was just in general. But then I remember, because my brain just does this, I'm always just curious. I was like, like, I don't know, like I try to figure out people, and that's like if I listen to people for a while, I'm just like curious,
Mm-hmm.
and then you basically answer my question without even knowing it when I was listening to an old video. I was like, oh, okay.
Some people
What have you?
think that I'm like they tell me I have like Capricorn vibes. I mean, maybe it's so close because December.
I do have a lot of it though. I know you're not like into. I looked up that, and like apparently there's like a lot of Capricorn with me as well.
Okay.
Probably with you then.
So I didn't know if you were all into that, but people say, "Oh,
No.
You're a Sagittarius and something rising,
You know what
something."
the problem is now?
What's that?
I can't even. I was just thinking that the other day. Like something. I think I just don't care. I actually was just like. I just am interested in like that in general, like that energy and personalities. But now I just barely can keep track of the days. I think that's my problem. Like I just don't.
Well, I need to know what I need to know.
It's already like October almost.
Yeah, I need to know what's going on because you just told me that you don't drink. So now, if you don't drink, how is it that you are not keeping track of the days and the time? I don't know what's going on over there.
Time is like going by faster, and I'm not the only one. I talk to people, and they agree. I'm like, what is happening, guys?
Honestly, I can't believe that this weekend we're entering into October.
Like it's it's already almost 2023.
That's insane.
Like, I feel like this year, like specifically, maybe I'm just more aware of it because I'm aware that I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, so we talked about your book, talked about traveling, talked a little bit about the astrology. Now I think we're ready for our burning questions. So are you all set?
Okay. Yeah.
Now you ain't sleeping over there, are you?
No.
Because
and I feel like my voice is like, maybe my voice is just not used to talking like this. I feel like it sounds like I'm sleeping, but I'm not, and I'm being quiet too.
Oh, are you trying not to wake people up?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna explain my living situation, but yeah.
Oh, I get it. This is Burning Questions. This is a segment of the show where I basically flip it and I put my guest in a hot seat. So the burning question that I have tonight is, have you had to change your attitude in order to save a relationship?
I would say no. Like, I don't really trying to think of a specific example because most of the time I feel like my attitude is not save things. And then like later you just kind of realize, you're like,
I guess it was meant to
like
be.
Maybe I should have done something differently, or.
Oh, okay. So you look at it after everything has all been dismantled, and it's like, all right. So now that it's over, now that I don't have it back, maybe I should have done X, Y, and Z to maybe sustain it and keep it.
Yeah, but yeah. I think I just always see things as like learning, like not necessarily keeping ties with people, but like
that's an interesting
learning from it.
That is an interest. That is an interesting trait for a Sagittarius because typically we don't think like that. Now I mean, I don't know. Like I think things through, and sometimes I think things through a little bit too much, and it's like, you know what? This situation right here, If I do this, this is going to be the outcome behind it. And then, like, sometimes you know what's right and what's wrong. Like, straight up, you know what's right and what's wrong. But what I've learned is that sometimes the emotions take over, and then you make the wrong decision because were too emotional behind it and you weren't thinking intelligently. See, I'm starting to learn a little bit. Like, I know when something's right and when something's wrong, but usually when the emotions are high, I make a
Mm-hmm.
mistake. And then afterwards, I'm like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
no, I shouldn't have done that. And I know damn well I shouldn't have done it. And then it's that back and forth. But
Yeah.
you're just like, forget it.
Well,
I'm not even
yeah.
going to try to save nothing. I'm just whatever.
No. Exactly. No, I see. I'm like, if it ended, there must be a reason. So I'm not even gonna really try to like.
And you know what? That
Like
is.
that's when you say like changing my attitude. I would say in the moment I don't even realize like what I'm doing, but I guess when I'm as soon as it ends like abruptly or something, like I just think of like jobs. I would say I've had tumultuous experiences.
You're
I'm like, well, it's done, so lesson. Let's figure out the lesson and move on.
you are making me laugh because I don't know much about you. I just seen your pictures and stuff. But as I'm talking to you, I could see somebody saying, Maria, unfortunately, it is what it is. And then you just sit there and look at them like, oh, well.
I
like,
love that. I want that to be like a meme or something on me. Okay.
like, you're just like, all right, okay, next.
Exactly.
But you know what? It, I get that. That is a good way to think. But it also could be a little disturbing because
Mm-hmm.
if
No,
it,
I see that.
I know what you're saying, but we honestly, it could be disturbing if you're not treating people right. But if you are coming from a
Mm-hmm.
place of love and you are treating people properly and you know that you are doing your part, when it ends, guess what? You are absolutely right. It ends, and there should be no let's going back and changing things. Let's not go back and say I'm sorry, because as long as you've come from a place of love and you've done everything that you possibly can do and you are coming correct, that's their problem. So maybe that is a good way to think about it. But most of us, we don't always come from a place of love 100%. We come from selfishness. We come from a whole bunch of jacked up situations we try to portray and, excuse me, project our ugly on other people. And then that's when we realize that we were wrong. We shouldn't have treated this person this way. We shouldn't have done that. And then that's when we go back and forth. But the best way to get past all of that bullshit is to come with it 100%. Come from a place of love. Push your ego aside and not have any of that stuff get involved and make things all, you know, make the waters muddy, because that's what happens when you get too emotionally involved in situations.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what
No,
I'm.
yeah.
At least that's what I'm saying. But I can learn from you because you don't want to have to change your attitude. You don't want to have to run back and say I'm sorry. You don't want to have to change things around and I say in some cases dumbing yourself down. So if you don't want to have to have those
Exactly.
conversations and you don't want to have to feel that way, you better start coming from a place that's 100%. I say all of the time, but I would be okay with saying most of the time because I know it's hard to be perfect all the time. Is it
Yeah. Well, I think a part of it too is just like saying like what you're actually feeling because sometimes I don't do that. So I think I've
what?
gotten
What
more
kind?
confident.
Can I know what type of Sagittarius you are that you don't tell people like it is right off the
What?
bat? That we get in
I
trouble
thought
for.
you weren't into this, and now you keep putting on that label. What?
We get in trouble
What'd
for
you say?
speaking the truth, telling people exactly.
Exactly.
I will tell you how I feel, right?
Well, no, I
And
think that's the thing. I think I've realized that like I've held back because like you can actually like people don't like that. So like you
I
kind of
know it.
dial yourself down.
I used to tell people like it is so bad, and then I think about like, damn, Laren, you should have not told them that. But in reality, it's the
No, like,
truth.
yeah, you'll be making.
It's the truth. I had
Yeah.
to tell
No,
you.
I think that's the thing. We have to. We have to say it. I think like that's the thing.
Yeah, But needless to say, people don't want to hear the truth. And then they looking at you like you got a problem because you telling them the truth. They know that things ain't right.
Like a mirror. Yeah. Holding up a mirror.
Well, that was a good conversation. I like that. I appreciate you for coming on. Is there anything that you'd like to go ahead and leave us with before we get out of here tonight?
I would just say continue to support you, like follow you guys, because apparently you're having issues.
Well, it comes with the territory. It happens on so many different platforms. If it ain't this one, next week is going to be the next. If it ain't this, the next week is going to be the other one. So I've learned after doing this for 2 years not to even worry about it, because if that type of stuff is happening, then that means that I know that I'm doing something. And for somebody to be scrutinizing and checking every little thing that I'm doing, I must be doing something. So I'll leave it.
No, yeah, I figured that. It's like you just attract it. It's like you must be like, if someone's really that concerned, you must be doing something right. Exactly. You're getting yourself out there.
When I had some of my haters bother me, I say, you know what? I must really be doing something for you to take time out to worry about little old Laren, that you take time out of your day to be so concerned to make this whole production about what I have going on. I must be doing something right. So
exactly. So continue.
Well, thank you.
Continue with that. Yes, I meant to say my IG though my main is literally just my name, but there's an underscore, so Maria _Kornacki. But you can see it if people are following you. Like, I think you post to tag me or something, so that will help with spelling. But should pop up.
Yeah, if we can, I do apologize to everybody out there if I can't show love the right way on certain platforms. The powers that be, it is what it is. But once things turn around, I'm gonna come back full force. So I got you.
Yeah. Definitely. It sounds like you do, and I got you.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I will make the effort to stay in touch.
Yes, thank you so much for coming through. We finally got you on here after all this time.
Yeah, I know. That was also a thing I just realized. I almost didn't even do this. It probably would have pushed it back for a long time until I had something out. Well, I thought maybe that's what you want. I was actually working on a website too, because I was going to move my stuff over.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a free site right now, but that's just for writing. But I wanted to add my art too, and then I was like, well, I don't even have a book out either, but I have it coming.
No, it's all good. We love everybody on the 411 here. No matter what, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, it'll be cool to look back on, to see the progress.
Absolutely.
Where I'm at a year from now, even just a few months.
Well,
where you're at. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you, and you have a wonderful night.
Thank you, too. Thank you so much.
Take care. Good night.
Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, you too.
There you have it, everybody. That was Maria Kornacki. Now, Simply Unique LLC. I don't know if you're still out there, but you said always be yourself. If we're friends, I should be able to be honest with you. That is so true. I mean, sometimes as a Sagittarian, that's all we know how to do. And sometimes, depending on our friends or family, whatever situation might be, they may not always love it, but that's one thing that we know how to do, is tell the truth and be brutally honest. It is what it is. But I want to say thank you so much to everybody out there for coming through and supporting the 411 podcast. Thank you, everybody, for supporting Reading Between the Wines last night. This week has been amazing. We've had so many great guests come on, and we still got more. So we still going to keep coming through. And we got a lot of great things coming up. So thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. Again, I need y'all help. I need your help on Instagram. So the best way that you can support me right now is to go on Instagram and like a whole bunch of things, comment, share. Same thing on YouTube. Like, comment, share. I would appreciate that. Like I said, it is what it is. I can't control most things, but I'm controlling what I can control. And we're just continuously pushing this ship along and making it do what it do. And of course, I could not do it without you. So I say thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now, if you would like to support the 411 podcast or Reading Between the Wines, please click that link above all of my social media platforms, and you can start a Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. This is a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. And I'm basically sharing with you my journey of how I got it together. For those of you who've been watching me for a long time, you can see that this has truly been a transformation. 2022, man, it was like a complete turnaround, a complete change compared to what I used to be when I first started doing this. And I had to learn how to get it together real quick if I wanted to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, you don't just write a book called My Inspirations and then come out here and not be anything, but it keep coming out here being destructive, being disrespectful, being all of the things that I probably was in the beginning. So this truly is a transformational journey, and I'm taking you on this journey with me. I'm telling you about the things that I've been through in the past, which guess what? We can't control those things. It's in the past and it is what it is. Don't dwell on it. Don't play those broken records over and over again. Just like I had to get it together today, reminiscing, thinking about the Monica record. Don't take it personal. I can't take these things personal. And so once I realized I can't take it personal, now we in the present moment. So I'm telling you where I'm at right here, right now. And then I'm leaving it up to you as I'm also leaving it up to myself to write my own destiny, write my own story. So I turned it into a remix journal for you to be able to do the same. Yeah, we've been through some things in the past, but we have gotten through and we're here right now. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to still be out here doing what I'm doing. But one thing that I can't stand, and this is just my own personal with myself, is complacency. I'm not going to stay complacent. I'm not going to just be content with what we got going on here right now. I want to continue to move and grow. And I see myself in places that are just so mind boggling that I can't even share it with people, because if I did, they'd be looking at me like I'm crazy. And when you have something that you know you can't share with anybody because they think that it's crazy, that's how you know you really got something, because you're dreaming and you're moving forward. Now, if you don't have that, that's a whole nother conversation, which, we're not even going to get into right now, but you need that. You need that thought process that takes it to a whole nother level. If you don't have that, that's a whole nother story. We can't even get into that. But anyway, we're going to stop this right here, because I can continue to keep going on and on and on about this. When you've come from the trenches, when you hit rock bottom, and the only way to get out is to climb up, and all you can see is up, because you can't see no more down, because you're down, down, down. You have no choice but to continue to speak the way I speak and talk the way I talk. And I know that there's people out there that have been through what I've been through, in cases some people have been through worse things. But like I said, we're here. Go ahead and click that link above and get Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. This is a tool that I'm putting out there to help people go through on this transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. And that's just it. We're moving towards something bigger and better than what we are right here today. Conversations that you heard tonight, conversations that you've heard week over week, month over month, this is all moving towards this healthier state of being, of thinking properly and getting it together just that quick. Just that quick. Because in a minute, we could be thinking negative. And we got to learn how to have these tools to get us back in check and keep us moving on the right path. And that's what it's about. I think I said enough for tonight. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much for coming through, Maria Kornacki. I appreciate you. We had a great conversation tonight, as well as all of my guests that come through this week. It's been amazing. And we still got more to go. Saturday, Midnight Vibes. We got Brent coming in here on the 411 podcast. we still rocking, we still rolling. And of course, I could not do it without each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Take care. Good night.